The Brat kicks this movie off and introduces us to the story of Carmen, only this time in the form of hip-hop. Sadly, she will not be narrating the film throughout. The story begins with Sergeant Derek Hill, an officer for the Philadelphia Police Department. We go to a corner where JD is dealing drugs, but is stopped by Lieutenant Frank Miller. He's an undercover cop, and a crooked one at that. But then we see Bow Wow be an unfortunate passenger of a carjacking. A lot of moving parts already. We never hear from the driver, but we see one of Miller's dirty works. He plants drugs on Bow Wow to increase his charge, sending him to jail.
Hey, calm down, boy! Man, shut up!
Hill catches wind of this and tries to confront him, but he doesn't have the courage to step to him because of his rank. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Also, I've started a Patreon account. On here you get more copyrighted material and they'll be uploaded 48 hours prior to YouTube. If you want to support or visit, link is in the description. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. At a nightclub, we are shown Hill's fiancée Michaela, who works for the nightclub. Miller tries to flirt with Michaela until Hill reveals that they are engaged, and this is when Carmen Brown makes her entrance. That's where she performs If Looks Could Kill, the first of many cringe rap songs here.
Sweetness flowing like a faucet, body banging, no corset. Brothers wanna toss it, but they lost cause my game ain't.
During the song, Miller and his partner tries to flirt, but she isn't feeling their vibe. Instead, she catches eyes for Hill. Michaela confronts him about his wandering eyes, and we get another cringy rap song where Kayla doesn't want him to stay on the force after they wed, as she fears for his life, but that's the price he chose when he took the job.
But becoming a cop is like becoming a man to me.
And if you get shot, then you'll become a body bag, you see.
Just then, Carmen gets into a fight with the local patron after she accuses Carmen of having wandering eyes for her man. After the fight, the owner decides to press charges against Carmen as she has a history of bad behavior in the club. Miller orders the off-duty Hill to take Carmen in. Hill refuses as he had plans to be with his fiancée, but again, Miller asserts his rank. After this, the patron decides to sucker punch one of the cops after he tries to return her weave. And it's the edit that makes me laugh, especially after Miller said she has to go to jail now.
You make me sick, Dick! Ow! Ooh, ow! Damn! Now you got to go to jail.
After all of this, Carmen tries to flirt with Hill, and it's another cringy rap scene, and Hill tries to shut her down and keeps reminding Carmen that he is engaged. She tells Hill about a ring that she has and wants to take it home and leave it there, as if she goes to jail, she won't see it again, and Hill obliges. All of this is Carmen's plan to seduce Hill, and he folds like grandma on laundry day, but probably worse than Joe did, and it's the last great seduction.
You know you really want to be with me, so why?
The next morning, Hill is awakened by Miller and arrests Hill for letting a fugitive get away. Miller then brings Michaela and she finds out about the infidelity. Carmen is hiding out with her friends Rashida and Nikki, and Carmen lies about the charges being dropped and they do a tarot card reading. After the reading, she can't stop thinking about Hill. She writes a letter to Hill while he's in the clink, and Hill talks to Bow Wow about his thoughts and how he can't keep Carmen off his mind. Cue cringe rap scene.
Got it bad for the brown, the tears of a clown says my name without a sound, in the love I will drown. Carmen, just a thought.
At a club called The Spot, we meet Blaze, a big time rapper. He catches eye for Carmen, and she tells Blaze about her dream of becoming an actress. Blaze wants her to come to LA with her friends. Rashida and Nikki is going to Cali with Blaze, but Carmen wants to stay and wait for Hill. And we get the most cringiest green screen rap scene of the entire movie.
It might seem, but everything that glitters don't bling. I ain't never met these brothers, how was that the right thing? I'm trying to run.
But Carmen promised she'll be in Cali in at least 2 weeks. Hill shows up after his release. Carmen tells him that she plans on moving to LA and wants to take Hill. And that's when she finds out Hill is on probation and can't leave Pennsylvania for a year. They get into a rap argument about making Hill to choose.
Now Carmen, what you need to do is don't make me choose. I'm not saying that you'll lose, but what else do I have to prove?
That night, Hill goes to the cop hangout club from the beginning. Lieutenant Miller decides to mock Hill as he feels black and blue.
Watch your speed, I ain't wanna play around. You got your head in the clouds, I'm about to bring it to the ground. It's something that you...
Miller F's around and finds out and gets sucker punched after he called Carmen a gardening tool. Miller wants Hill arrested for assaulting an officer, and after realizing what he's done, Hill decides to take Carmen to LA and violate his probation. Once in LA, things don't go well for Hill or Carmen. Carmen's acting dreams are off to a slow start and Hill can't find work because of his record. At this point, they can't get out of this rundown hotel that they're staying in. They get into another argument as she feels Hill is bringing her down and he tells her to stop that.
Yo, where the brother by my side at?
Yo, you really need to stop that.
Get it right.
It's not even like that.
Carmen finds her friends Rashida and Nikki, more so the movie made us think that. They have been living the lavish lifestyle Blaze had provided them, and they go to another tarot card reading with Wyclef. And Rashida has fame and fortune, as does Nikki. But for Carmen, she pulls out death. And this is when we get the best music scene of the movie, because the chemistry between her and Clef was solid.
No, 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 no. I don't wanna go.
He tells her that the cards never lie. Carmen realizes that she's wasting time with Hill and decides to pursue Blaze and live life to the fullest. Back in Philly, Miller gets a warning about his position as the Philly PD is cracking down on dirty cops. He decides to talk to Michaela on a tip where Hill could be. He lies saying that if she could help find Hill, Hill could get his job back without repercussion. Kayla calls Hill and warns Miller that he's after him. Miller tries to talk to the rookie cop who was close to Hill in the beginning. All this just to find Hill. Miller gives him an undisclosed amount of money to coerce for an answer on Hill's whereabouts. Hill wants to go back to Philly and he wants to take Carmen with him, but Carmen wants to stay in LA and Carmen leaves him. Carmen is taking a bath, and after her bath, a radio falls in the bathtub, and that was a sign of her impending doom. Hill then talks to the rookie cop as he spots Carmen on TV before the Blaze concert. Hill wants to get Carmen back in a stalkerish type way.
Listen to me, man. I can't do that right now, okay? You don't understand, man. You don't understand. Okay? I love her. Okay? She's the air that I breathe. You understand? Listen to me!
After this, the rookie cop calls Miller and directs him to the Blaze concert. Towards the end of the Blaze concert, Hill sneaks backstage, as does Miller, and confronts Carmen. Miller is stalking Hill and pulls a silencer on Hill, but instead put two in Carmen's back, and that was that. Miller is about to go in for the kill, but his silencer got jammed and Hill chases after Miller. They get into a fight that ends with Hill throwing Miller over the ledge, killing him too. The LAPD comes in to arrest Hill for double murder as the news pit him as a jealous ex who shot Carmen and pushed Miller over the ledge. And the news also states that Miller was hooking up with Carmen. The Brat closes the film and pays tribute to the fallen Carmen, and I guess the Bugs Bunny quote works here too.
Well, what did you expect in an opera? A happy ending?
This was a movie for the era. There are a ton of things that won't fit today, like the rap scenes and all the rap feeling forced and cringy. And I feel like I said the word cringe a lot in this video. But let me go through the characters and my thoughts. Starting off with Blaze, and I could say he was not as toxic as Husky Miller was on Carmen Jones. He wasn't as desperate in getting Carmen to be with him, outside of him being a rapper. But in all honesty, Blaze isn't that interesting. Next is Miller. And someone needs to call Mariah, because he was obsessed with Hill, willing to do anything to make Hill's life a living hell, all this because of his rank. And for Hill, same thing I said about Joe applies here too. All he had to do was take Carmen to jail, but instead he gets hypnotized by the lust of Carmen. I don't know what spell she put on him, but he never wanna lose me. He threw almost everything away, and in the end, he lost the girl. And for Carmen, I think the Jones character was better. The problem with Beyonce's Carmen was that she was very naive in thinking that her destiny was, no pun intended, to move to LA and become a famous actress and have her own Malibu mansion. And we don't even get to see her grind for it. It's not going to be given to you on a silver platter. But to be honest, after watching this movie with some bad editing, forced rhyming, this movie was kind of rough to get through. And I can't really recommend it. No wonder we didn't get many hip operas afterwards. And that concludes Carmen, a hip opera movie recap. Tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.